So, what could have occurred with Stephen Earl Kraft? Him being missing. To go missing in 2001, that's a very long time. The year is 2021. I remember even where the place is in 2001. What I was doing in 2001. So, like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery Channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery Channel. Links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as that ID Go app. You might want to get those two things combined or make them into one, and I'm a Discovery influencer. That's indeed a fact. So, February 15th, 2001, location Benton Township, Michigan. Stephen Earl Kraft. He was out walking his dogs between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., but didn't return home for dinner. His dogs were found. Yes, his dogs were located, and yet he is still missing. So once again, in my opening, as I question, what could have occurred with him? You're walking your dogs. Let's see. You're walking your dogs. It's 7 p.m. around 8ish, right? You walk your dogs. Your dogs are found, and yet you are nowhere to be found. And no one has seen anything or heard anything. Visually thinking. Lured in the car, maybe. Because, see, for him to be his age, I can't see him just walking along and then just leaving for good, as in goodbye. There's something that must have occurred within that walking the dogs. Because, see, I'm thinking, let me see, that's what I'm saying. If you got two dogs and your dogs are found, say located, right? Wouldn't the dogs have reacted if there was a kidnapping or something? How would the dogs say a reaction from the dogs? Because some dogs are so playful and so close, and sometimes dogs can be needy, where even dogs would bark and bark and bark, right? Some dogs are smart enough to bark and bark and bark and then run back home to let the homeowner know, or mother, or father, or whatever caregiver of the child, let them know, to try to let them know that something's wrong, as even dogs know how to do that sort of thing. Dogs have internal intuition in a sense as well, just like humans do. Not the same way, but what do dogs, some people, they don't question that. What do dogs do if a child they are close to is kidnapped? Would a dog or dogs, would they run away, as in to get away from the kidnapper, knowing a child is being kidnapped? There's something more to this story, and even those dogs point to that as well. No, the dogs did not eat the child. No, not saying that sort of thing. No. Of course not, right? I'm trying to see if a kidnapping took place. I'm trying to see what the dogs actually did, as in a walking process, footing, leaving, not leaving, running, not running, barking out to other people. As I said before, dogs have that internal, something is wrong. Let me bark, bark, bark enough to get enough. Let me bark enough to get enough attention around me, to make the public around me know that something is going on here. No dogs would like to see someone they love be kidnapped. If the dogs barked, But there was a barking process for how long? How long did that barking process take place? Enough to make people alert and know that something is wrong. How long did it take for the dogs themselves to be located? The distance and all the rest, right? Yes, the dogs are very important in this story. They just are. Because if somebody is kidnapping children and the child has a dog, is to say, if there was a car involved, a vehicle involved, the dogs run after the vehicle. If the dogs ran after the vehicle, how long did the dogs run after the vehicle for and then stop running after the vehicle? If it happened on footing, the kidnapping, and the dogs ran after whoever the individual was involved that say kidnapped Stephen, how long did the dogs run after the male or female that kidnapped Stephen? Because it's quite odd to me that a kidnapping occurs and dogs are involved, and yet the dogs don't follow along. The dogs do not follow along. The dogs just stay put, or maybe the dogs followed along and then ran back. So that's the stay in question of, say, if the dogs did follow along, if there was a kidnapping, is there or is there not a nearby house in which Stephen was kidnapped? Does that or does not make sense? I'm going to lure a young boy and I'm going to lure him into one of the nearby homes. Dogs are involved. That's to say, whoever a kidnapper is would not allow the dogs into the home, so then the dogs are going to be found. There's only two objects in a sense that could have taken place: vehicle or home, nearby home or something, for those dogs to be there. Dogs play a very vital, important part in this story. They just do. Because to lure a child into a nearby home is to lure the child. The dogs are there. You lure the child into the home and then you close the door, and then the dogs are just there to run off or to just be there in the environment, right? The dogs have been cut off and they're just left there. And yet a child is somewhere gone in that. Same with a vehicle, same thing. The distance. Because if no one's saying anything, yeah. Vehicle. That's basically it. Dogs, I already said this before, dogs can tell you a lot of things about situations. They just can. Because if a dog is too big, that barking will be too big. But it's enough to alert something is wrong here. And if anyone heard the first dog or second dog, depending on how big they are, those people will say, well, the time frame of when I heard the first dog or when I heard the dog, well, that was enough time to allow a kidnapper to get away. As in, how fast did you make it outside when you heard the dogs barking? Or how fast did you turn around and look when you heard the first dog barking? So we're on investigationdiscovery.com. The ID logo stands in the far left corner. Live now. Murder comes to town. New episodes on the case with Paula. Unlocked episodes. To receive an audio-visual preview is a click the play button. You would in fact receive that. ID Go Original Series. Shouts out to Lieutenant Joe Kenda as well as Paula as well. To receive a newsletter from Investigation Discovery, is to type your email address in and click next, and then you will in effect receive that sort of thing. So dear viewers, let me know what you think and feel about the video. May you enjoy your day. I will in fact enjoy mine, and let me know what you think happened or occurred to Stephen. And I'm gone for now. 1.